Hello, namaste everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the planet Saturn, Shani. What does the planet Saturn represents in our Vedic chart or in our natal chart? That is what we are going to discuss today. So before we move ahead, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do that below. And even you can hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link in the description box, www.anmollastrology.com. Under the reading and unique reading section, you could book a personal reading for yourself. I have introduced a few more readings. So beyond option 10, you can view the new readings that I have added onto my website. Also, if you would like to sign up for the courses, online courses, you can check out the courses section. Okay, so let's get started. Let's discuss about the planet Saturn, the one people fear so much of. But trust me, it isn't like that. I think Saturn is the only planet which can give you the blessings if you are appreciative of those blessings. But I agree to the fact that most of the people right now would disagree with me and say that no, the Saturn has made them suffer, that it has tested them to the extents that are possible. So I understand both the sides, to be honest. I'm not here to change anyone's perspective, but I am here just to give the information that how Saturn can affect for to different people. For some, Saturn can be good, for some, Saturn can be bad. And the sole reason behind this, that how you analyze your own Saturn, is that how your Saturn is posited, how you're compensating the karma which Saturn is trying to give you. That is what matters before we understand what Saturn is. All right, so Saturn, the karmadhish, the planet of karma, the planet of action, the planet of the hisab, the karma hisab that we have, in the celestial books that we are here to pay off. That is Saturn, Shani. Saturn is here to just be fair among everyone, regardless of your caste, creed, whether you are rich or you are poor. Saturn is the planet which can actually make you richy rich, or it can make you suffer like a very poor soul. Saturn is the planet of discipline. It is the planet of organization. It is the planet of order. And whenever I think of discipline, right? Not structure and anything else, just discipline. I think that is more of Mars. Whenever you see a person following basically a set of routine every day, that's not Saturn. That's more of a Martian personality. That's more of a Martian person. But Saturn is a mix of discipline and also consistency. It is the mix of structure, organization, discipline. Saturn is the planet which wants you to be consistent. It doesn't want you to be, flamboyant. It doesn't want you to be all over the place. It just wants that what responsibilities you are fulfilling, you should be consistent to it. You should do it regularly. Like, for example, if your Saturn is in the second house, you should be consistent towards accomplishing your responsibilities towards your family. As in, it's not that you are just occasionally present there among your family to provide for them. You have to do it every month, every week, every day. When you do it in a consistent level, trust me, Saturn, wherever it sits, it gives you solid growth. That's the reason Saturn represents your foundation. Saturn is the long term goal, the long term stability, the long term benefit and growth that comes towards you. Saturn is slow and steady. It is the planet that tests your patience and makes you learn how important it is to have patience. All right. Saturn is the planet which rules the 10th and the 11th house. And you will always see that there is a mix of the two zodiac signs or any zodiac sign that a particular planet rules. So that planet will have the qualities of those zodiac signs, and those zodiac signs are going to have the qualities of that planet. And even the exalted sign is going to have the qualities of the planet, and the debilitated sign is going to have the negative aspects of that planet. So Saturn rules the zodiac sign of Capricorn and the zodiac sign of Aquarius. The qualities of structure, discipline, karma, responsibilities, social status, how important it is for a person to stand out in the society, to be fair to everyone, to follow what is right, to do what is right. That is the traits of Saturn, which comes into the zodiac sign of Capricorn, or these are the complete traits of Saturn. The another zodiac sign, Aquarius, the 11th house, the social recognition, the connection that we develop with the society, the connection that we develop with the people. That is Aquarius, the desires that you have. Do you think Saturn doesn't have desires? Absolutely not. Rahu is the planet of desires, and it wants everything. It is the rebel. Similarly, Saturn is also the planet of your desires, and it's also a rebel. So wherever your Saturn is, you would always desire stability into that house. You would always desire to have things associated with that house. Saturn in the fourth house. You will always be very keen on having a home to yourself. You will be keen on having a stable, grounded life, good finances, a comfortable environment. Because Saturn is a part of your desires because of its association with Aquarius. All right. Saturn is the planet which can actually give you the fulfillment of your desires. But Saturn is the planet of suffering. It is the planet of slowness. That's why whatsoever you desire, that comes to you when Saturn feels that you are ready. And for that, you're always being tested. Saturn is your responsibilities. Wherever Saturn sits, wherever in your chart Saturn is there, that is the house which you cannot escape, or you cannot enjoy that house fully. That is the house where your karma lies. That is the house where you will always have some sort of disturbances, but you can never leave that house. You can never leave your responsibilities towards that house. And the only, way of, I won't say escaping that house, but making it in your favor is to voluntarily just taking on the responsibilities of that house. For voluntarily taking that house into consistency. Like, for example, if you have Saturn in the 7th house, it's extremely important that you realize your responsibilities for the society, for others. It is. It comes into you. Saturn represents your fears. Being in the seventh house, you would actually go through instances in your early life, in your early ages of life, where you'll start restricting yourself with your association with others. You'll start fearing that, what if I get a wrong partner? What if I do not get the partner of my choice? What if my partner is not dedicated towards me? So, Saturn is your hidden fear. That's the reason wherever Saturn sits, you start becoming formal towards that house. You start putting up boundaries within that house. So, as a result, Saturn in the seventh house, you put in boundaries with your associations with others. You act as a very formal partner to your husband or your wife. There starts creating a distance, and this distance, this boundaries actually comes there because you don't want to get hurt, because you want to protect yourself from that misery, from that suffering, that knowingly or unknowingly to the others you have suffered. That's why Saturn teaches you patience with its placement. Saturn in the third house, it is going to teach you that patience within your work, with your skills, with your stability in life, with your communication. Saturn in the ninth house, it is going to give you the harshest lessons possible that you might get in your life. And that will actually make you a person, from a person who has never, or who is not able to take a stand for what they feel is right, but then they convert into an individual who now identifies what is wrong, what is right, and becomes righteous in their actions. It tests your fortune. It tests your luck. Saturn in the eighth house. You are just in your own world, willing to do what you feel is correct or you want to do. So this makes a person quite stubborn. But this is also a placement which can give you suffering for a longer period of time. It teaches you that you need to adapt yourself. That's why it gives you those judgments. It changes your life through each and every important step. Life is not easy for the ones with Saturn in the eighth house, because at a point they absolutely have no wish to justify themselves to anyone, because that is the amount of criticism they had bared, that is the amount of judgment they have already bared. So they end up becoming people who are very practical within their approach, and who know that this is the goal and I want to achieve it. I don't care anyone, whatever anyone says in my surroundings. So Saturn is not always a planet which will follow a certain pattern just because the society said this has to be done. Saturn is indeed orthodox, but rather, more than orthodox, it is the old soul. It loves to be in its own consistent level. It loves to do things in a traditional manner. That's what is the orthodoxness with Saturn. So wherever your Saturn is, wherever even your Saturn transits, the only solution that you can follow, not, you don't have to go and get alcohol into and pollute our rivers. Absolutely not. That's not what you should do. You don't need all of these things. You can do, if you want to feed someone, you need to feed the crows, you need to feed the pigeons. You should do that voluntarily, not just because you want to improve your Saturn. That won't improve your Saturn. Trust me on this. But what would improve your Saturn is when you go out there and you see where your Saturn is, you see your chart, and you fulfill your responsibilities towards that house. You fulfill your responsibilities in a consistent way. You go and donate something for one day is not going to rectify your life altogether for so many days. You have to be consistent with that. Saturn in the sixth house. You don't have to make one-time donations. You need to be consistent with your seva. Every Saturday, go to the temple, do the seva. Go to the Gurdwara, do the seva. That is what is going to improve your Saturn. And I feel it's the easiest way to, basically to keep your Saturn happy. Because Saturn is going to give you the instant karma of your actions. You do good actions, you do consistent actions, Saturn will be happy from you. Saturn will say, I'm going to bless you. I'll give you that growth. So wherever your Saturn sits, if you need growth there, be consistent. Have patience towards that house. Always be fair with that house. Do not be partial. That's what Saturn requires. Now, Saturn is exalted in the zodiac sign of Libra, or in the seventh house, it gains its directional strength. Why so? Libra is the zodiac sign of the balance, where the scales are trying to balance itself. So Saturn coming over there helps an individual to bring in a balance or walk on a path to bring balance and fairness. But that makes this zodiac sign as a slow-moving zodiac sign because it is an exaltation sign of a slow-moving planet. So it will give you results with delay, but it will give you solid results. It's not an overnight fame that you're going to get with an exalted Saturn. Rather, it's a built, it's a builded, it's a fame that builds with time, with each step, one step at a time. Saturn is debilitated in the sign of Aries. Why so? Saturn is a slow-moving planet. It loves to move cautiously, with patience. And sign of Aries, the Nidar sign, the sign which is not fearful at all. And you put a fearful planet, or put a planet of patience into this zodiac sign, you would experience a rush of impulsiveness. And Saturn doesn't feel comfortable when it is imposed or forced to do something. When a servant is basically forced to be a king, Saturn doesn't feel good there. Right? Because this Saturn won't be able to take the right decisions, or this Saturn will take decisions only for what is right for that particular individual who has this debilitated Saturn. So it no longer is fair and justified to everyone. That's why Saturn is debilitated in the sign of Aries. This Saturn debilitated may give a person success for a short period of time, short-lived success, but it will not last longer. But with a person with Saturn exalted or Saturn in a good condition, with the consistency, it is going to give a long-term effect, a long-term growth and success. People with a consistent lifestyle, with the people who are going to give their consistency, going to give their discipline and organization and structure to Saturn, does enjoy their life beyond 48. Their old age is beautiful. They are able to enjoy the money, the luxury, the good relations, all of that in their old age. But the people who do not have a good Saturn, or who are not consistent with their actions, or who do not have a good Saturn, doesn't work accordingly to improve their Saturn, they are going to have terribly bad time period over 48. They might enjoy a short-lived success or a short-lived luxury life, because Saturn has the ability to give, and give in a way that you will feel that, yes, my life was productive. I did something in my life. I enjoyed my life. So don't feel Saturn is the planet who's going to make you alone. All these things are just the test of Saturn. Saturn indeed is the planet of misery. It is the planet of suffering. It is also the planet of loneliness. But why loneliness? Saturn basically isolates you. For example, Saturn comes into your first house. It transits your first house. It will isolate you because it wants you to learn the lesson that in this world, you have come alone, you will stay alone. Stay alone as in your own power. You don't have to be dependent on others. This is what Saturn teaches you. Wherever your Saturn is in the first house. It will teach you that lesson that you are the sole owner of your personality. You have to be independent. You have to be practical. Saturn in the fourth house. You are responsible for your own happiness, your own, your own comfort, your own emotions. Seventh house. You have to take the lead of your relationships, not in a way that you're dominating, but you have to show your partner that I am here for, initiating or lead this partnership. Saturn in the 10th house, it wants you to take the authority, take the charge within your career, within your social presence. And you would see that you are actually going to feel the contrary of all these things that I said. And that's the journey. After feeling all these contrary things, you are going to push yourself. Saturn is going to make you push yourself towards what is required by Saturn. And this journey is what we call as the journey of feeling lonely, the traits of Saturn, which we address as being lonely, misery, suffering. Because when you are not understanding that this is what Saturn is asking you to do, if you are remaining in your comfort zone, you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you're not trying to make a change, Saturn is going to feel like a planet of misery. It is going to feel like a planet of loneliness. If you yourself learn that we are here alone, we have been here, we are going to, we came here alone, we are going to go away from this world alone. So we are not going to depend on someone, rather we are going to make a fruitful use of our life. Then only the Saturn, will actually you will be able to understand that this planet is not the planet of misery. It is not the planet of isolation. It's just trying to give you that hard reality check, which took you out of your bubble. And anytime, any person, even it's me, if I am going to be taken out of my comfort zone, I'm going to feel that, yes, planets are not working out for me. Planets are doing bad for me. So it's more about our understanding and how we are taking the charge of our life. And that's all what Saturn is about. Easy. Saturn is very easy to understand. And Saturn is very easy to please also. If you think you can just, buy a bottle of oil from from a store, and just without any pure intention, without any intention of dedication and devotion towards Shani, you're just going to donate that into his foods, and it is going to magically improve your life. I'm sorry, I don't feel that's something which can be done, which can actually feel. Just think to yourself, which does it actually feel like it made a difference? Did it change my life? No, but your actions towards fulfilling and taking care of the wishes of your God, that is going to make a difference. That is going to make a change, not just in your life, but also with the people, or in the lives of people who are surrounded by you. All right. So I think that's what I have to give for the understanding of Saturn. And I feel I would ask you people, go and check your chart wherever your Saturn is. Understand and talk to yourself. What desires do you hold? Is that house of significance? Because definitely you are going to hold the desires of that house. And then talk to yourself, ask yourself that am I fulfilling the karma towards that house? If I am asking Saturn to give me what I desire the most, am I coming halfway ahead? And trust me, you won't be looking for remedies. You won't be going here and there just for pleasing that Saturn. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis about Saturn. I hope this helps. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.